So most accountants would recognize this Excel spreadsheet that I've created here. This is a simple lead schedule where you have a client's chart of accounts and you reconcile that to the line items of a financial report. So here's cash and cash equivalents, receivables, etc. This is pretty simple. You have the prepared by client column, audit adjustments, and the adjusted balance. So I've probably been doing spreadsheets longer than 99% of accountants that are out there. So why can I say that? Well, I started as an accountant in 1982 with Price Waterhouse, and at that time, VisiCalc came out, as did the IBM PC. So I've been doing spreadsheets for quite a while, and I know all about spreadsheets, and I also know a lot about Microsoft Access. Both are tools. Most accountants understand Excel, but they don't really use Access much. But when I first started doing lead schedules, we actually did them on paper. We had paper, 100% paper audit bundles in 1982 at Price Waterhouse. And now I know that audit working papers and accounting working papers are typically done in things like Excel. But I want to show you a different way of working with accounting working papers. So I created a model, and this is exactly the same schedule. This I don't really want to see this column here. I can't really adjust this, but here is that same schedule. So I'm going to show you. This is one application. I can edit the working papers in this application. Here's another application. So here is exactly that same set of lead schedules. I can get rid of the date that I don't want to see simply by filtering the lead schedule by what date I'd like to show. I can do some other interesting things that you can kind of do this in Excel, but not really the way that most people create spreadsheets. So here is another schedule. Let's see, I'm going to use this one. So here is another schedule. This is just like a client chart of accounts, and it adds up to 0. This is a closed trial balance. And again, I can filter the date. I can also pivot this spreadsheet. Let's see, what can I? Yeah, there you go. There's adjusted balance, prepared by client, adjustments, or I could have it this way. Or I could have it this way. Some of these are easier to read than others. But the point is that I can pivot this this schedule. So what I have here is basically a model-driven accounting working paper system. So this is one application. This is a working prototype that a software engineer and I created starting in about 2014. This is called Tesseract, and this has some really interesting characteristics. For example, in here you can, let's see, there's the balance sheet. So I want to see the fact cash and cash equivalents. We'll see everywhere where that's used. So here it's used on the lead schedule. There it is in the lead schedule. The trial balance, the cash and cash equivalents roll forward, the subclassifications of cash and cash equivalents, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. So, and I can see all the properties of that concept, that fact, plus the properties of the concept. So I can, this is one application, Passeract. Here is a second application, RL. This is kind of ugly because it's a developer tool. It's not really a tool that an accountant would use, but it does read the report, the working papers, and I can validate that everything is okay. So it's done. This is not a really great tool. I have another tool called Pacioli. This is another tool that says everything is valid. This is mainly a validation tool. There's other stuff. Again, you can pivot this also. Not quite as good, but you can pivot it like a pivot table. This is another software tool. This is an API level tool. You can't really see much. If there was an error, it would tell you, but here it's telling me I have no errors. This is another tool. This is an API called, or a batch processing thing called Coyote Reporting that was created by XBRL Cloud. This is another company I work for, UB Matrix XBRL, off-the-shelf XBRL validator. It says that everything's valid. Here's the same XPE4 that validated all the relationships. These are XBRL tools. The most interesting, though, right now is this Passeract tool, because you can actually create these schedules with this. All the other tools are mainly for verifying that a report is correct. You can actually create using this tool. So here, I'm going to go into edit mode. This is the viewing mode. You can view it just for, the view mode, or here you can actually enter information. I can go in here and edit the model. And this is a way that, when you're working with Excel or Microsoft Word, you spend probably 90% of your time screwing around with formatting. So here you have pre-formatted information. The dollar signs show up where you want them. You can change this stuff. The decimals, you can change that also. Here it's all rounded to the nearest dollar, so you don't have decimals. But you create a model, and I'll add something here and see what I added this. So I'm going to add something. So here I'm going to add a new concept. Just call it new. Add it. And you see what happens is it added it right there, but it also put it in the model. And I can add another concept to that. Monetary, make it an instant balance type, say debit, and I can add that. And again, it added it to this model by editing this tree. So I can also delete that. okay, and then I can validate that everything is okay. I'm not going to do that right now, but so I can go in here, and let's say I go into this lead schedule, and then I change a number. Let's say, yeah, let me just do this. So I change that, and it recalculates, and it tells me that something's wrong. But not only in this location, but in other locations in the report. So these things are all connected together. So if I can see that if I go here and I copy this and I make this schedule correct, so now everything should turn green, and it does. But if I go back here, you'll see that this is incorrect because it's connected. And here, if I put that number in there, it'll make that schedule correct. But then it makes the balance sheet incorrect. So this is all connected. So I can fix the balance sheet here, but then it says this is wrong. So it's like a Sudoku puzzle. And you can keep fixing things. It's it's everything's connected, and you can't really make a mathematical mistake in creating a report or other kinds of mistakes. There are actually I think I have 8 theories that are being enforced on this schedule, on this set of working papers. So I'm going back and I'm fixing this to make the errors go away. What's going on here is this is basically a database, and there's a reasoner, a data log reasoner that's connected to this database, and I have these theories that I have represented in machine-readable XBRL, and these theories can be published on the internet anywhere. And let me see if I have. Yeah, here's here's the information. You can't really see the theories from here, but this is the model that these working papers follow. It's all machine interpretable, and therefore a machine can process all this stuff. I'm going to stop there for now. I'm going to try and figure out a better way to explain this, but I'm going to stop there for now. You can try this out to some degree in the viewer that is published by Audit Chain. Anyway, I'm going to stop there for now.